Is she recording? Are you recording? Okay, well,
Okay,
it is what it is.
Let's preface
Okay.
this though, because it's not going to make sense if they just read from that particular point. The question is, people have got problems in their homes with children and they don't understand their kids, and there's so many, and they kind of look at these kids and they can identify what's going wrong with the kids, but they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know what to do with it, and it's
So until you are ready to own up to your part, especially if you're a mother and a father, just remember, us as children, not all children choose their parents. Okay, now you might not choose those, okay, but you have agreements in place or whatever. It doesn't really make a difference. If those are you know what, that was the solution for that soul to choose that person, but it's a choice. Right. Nothing is by coincidence, right? Mm-hmm. So we were speaking of a fact, when Dana came to me and she was bringing up, Duane, let's speak about this. It's so unfair because Dana did a lot of work. The woman who Dana is today and who Dana was, I mean, they're not even the same mom. Yes. She's got 2 boys and they had 2 experiences. She had the experience of being a mom by default and reactiveness, and then she had this mom that was very deliberate. She was more in charge of what she was doing versus being, angry, aggressive, and by defaulting to the old banter that was there. So, it's like, and you were saying, we need to speak about this. I see so many parents going into putting their children deficiencies and going into therapies and put them on medicine and doing all of this. Mm. I'm not saying no to the medicine. I'm just saying step it back and take ownership for where you are, because you as the parent, the mother and the father, you are the one instead of vibrating and creating a household equity.
It's a massive responsibility though, is it?
That's why you're a parent.
But is there not a certain amount of responsibility that is on that child as a human being as well?
Yes, but the child is the child. It's your responsibility to take care of that child.
Sure.
Okay, so what's happening is the child knows. Mm-hmm. When I look at, now I do a lot of children, I can see the children. The children know.
Yes.
And especially these Indigo children, and...
What is that?
Indigo.
Indigo, what is that? What is that kind of child? What are you?
So
when you say Indigo child, what is that?
So an Indigo child. And there's a lot of Indigo parents, right? So this type of child is more of a rule breaker, a system breaker, breaking the norm, right? So if your child is like, if your child is like breaking barriers, right, breaking the norm, right, like a Duane.
Wow. I was the best child ever. I never broke a rule once, ever.
And I'm not too sure if you Google Indigo, but there's enough information out there right now. You've just got to be discerning of the information that you're reading.
Sure.
Especially with AI right now.
Yeah, but listen, keep going. Got me.
So Indigo children and Indigo parents are system breakers. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a whole lot that's there because you're sensitive, all right? You're sensitive, but you've got the grit. Mm-hmm. Where the crystal children and the rainbow children don't have that grit.
And got the fight back.
They don't have the fight back. So you have these parents that have got all the grit and the fight back, and they're dealing with these crystal children and rainbow children, and I don't understand you. What's wrong with you? The child is different.
What? To you? You mean different to the parent? The child is different to the parent. Okay, that's fine. I got it.
It's a change.
Not just different in the worldview, but different to the parent in that very small situation.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Especially if you cross-pollinate, right?
Okay.
So there's all this cross-pollination, but let's go back to these, to what we were talking about. If you're a mother, you have to see what do you know about you and who are you being? Mm. If you're a father, what do you know about you and who you being?
Right.
And then if you have the children, each of those relationships with your children are different. How many children do you have?
2. Oh, they're very similar but very different. The relationships, absolutely.
Are you the same with
No,
so
not at all. No, not at all.
So
a lot of things, yes, but a lot of things, no. Because they bring out certain things at me, different things at me, and they need different things from me.
So it's
as far as my perception is concerned.
It's a vibration, but it's also a memory.
Yeah, of course.
And once you start having a banter and an emotional equity with a child that is not doing things in your way, right? And certain things are getting ignored and the gaps gets bigger. That's the disassociation. I mean, I can't generalize this conversation, but this conversation is huge because I see so many parents defaulting to, I have a problem child. No, you don't have a problem child. So you probably have a sensitive child that needs to address certain things in a different way to sort out certain things. Here's the solution to every challenge and opportunity. Every problem is looking for an opportunity to be enlightened, right? So if you're having a problem with a child, go back to you before you go to a therapist. Go back to you, because nothing's far more healing than that maternal and paternal equity of that spiritual agreement. You know, a lot of people go, oh, I hate my mom. You know, she does this, but that's why you chose your mom. She was going to be that equator. She was going to be that defining moment of degree that was going to take you over the edge to be able for you to overcome something. And that's the
It's a beautiful conversation.
entity,
It's
right?
a lovely conversation, and one I think we should expand on going forward.
Right.
But Mark, just really, I know you wanted this to be a very short teaser as to what
Well, we
this
started
problem
with,
was.
you started with Dana started
Yes.
recording this without us knowing that it was recorded.
Yeah.
So
My question is this, though.
what's the question?
No, I'll tell you why. Because we live in a really, really
Beautiful, diverse,
planet.
rich,
We do. Absolutely.
contrast world.
But part of that is...
All of it.
Absolutely. But part of that is some very practical solutions that the world has put in place. So in as much as you as a parent takes responsibility for understanding your own self in a given situation with your child, there may be a gap of understanding, or maybe a gap of understanding where your child is and you don't understand what your child's going through. Does therapy still have a place in it? It can't be the fix-all or the cure-all, but it does have a place in that environment, because the world has got to a place where there are so many different solutions to every problem almost. So therapy's got a place.
Everything has a place.
I mean, it's a difficult.
So it's planet Earth, right? Everything has a place.
Okay.
Now, what you're asking me is, does therapy work? That's what you're asking me.
Down to it, yes.
Right. So it depends. It depends what you're using it for. If you're in therapy for years and years and years and still talking about the same thing, the answer is no.
Yeah, absolutely. We
Okay.
can't believe in that, yeah.
And I'm fortunate and blessed because I've had the incredible opportunity and privilege and truthfully honor of working with some of the very finest therapists, psychologists and OBGYNs and just incredible human beings, okay? And a lot of them are across the country, where we've gone into discussion panels and things of a certain nature of progress and advancement and development in healing and therapy and what's it all about. You know, the word therapy is wellness. So if you are going to therapy and you're feeling good about it, or if you were doing whatever, then it served the purpose. Mm-hmm. So if you go to my door there, it says Therapia. Okay, Therapia is God's given word to yourself that it's your innate gift to feel well, to be well. But that's where we come from. It's this source of benevolence. But if you go into therapy and you're talking about the things that are not working in your life, mm-hmm. and you're constantly talking about them, you have to grow up and understand and raise your awareness that if you keep on talking about it, then you're commanding and bringing life to that.
Right.
So, and a lot of the space is not able to be one, because now the true essence of what people are exchanging is, the exchange of monetary exchanges.
Oh.
And talking about it is just not enough. Now you have to
it's not.
Now you need medicine.
It's not. Well, talking
And now it's
actually
now
is
an
never enough,
antidepressant.
right?
Then you need this. Then you need that. You've just got to have discernment. If you really need to talk to somebody, then go talk to somebody. There's some great therapists.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, do whatever.
Sure.
But if you're in therapy and you're talking about it, maybe just go do therapy with yourself, write about it, burn it, and get over it. And if you can't get over it, then go and look at other ways, alternative ways of doing it. Everything has its place in moderation or whatever. But does therapy have its place? I think it's always had its place.
Yeah, me too. But I also believe that therapy is wonderful, but it's no good without action. You've got to take certain actions to, you know what I mean? So
You can't do the same thing over
Oh,
and
no,
over
that's,
again.
that's a fool's errand.
Right.
That's a fool's errand. So we can't be in a situation doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. That's the definition of a fool.
Yeah.
So for me, you go to the therapy, the therapist can give you certain advices, can give you certain understandings. You need then to act on those to take yourself forward, to then in therapy have different conversations going forward.
Yeah,
as
but
you
that's
walk.
not really happening.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's
where
not really
That's where the
happening,
problem
and
is,
that's
right?
Well, it's not that it's a problem, it's a
For me-
bottleneck now.
That's exactly it. That's the
Because
problem.
people are wanting to go to therapy, but they don't want to roll up their
We
sleeves.
don't want to do the work.
And they don't want to do the work. So the biggest thing that I found in all the years I've been doing this work, and the difference between, let's go back to the beginning, between, you know, what I talk about, like a Dana, Michael, and a Marlene, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Dana made those significant differences. That's it's very unfair to bring a Dana here because Dana rolled up her sleeves and went to
Did the
work
work.
and did the work.
Yeah.
Where I see other people, they don't want to pay for that session, but they don't want to go home and do the work.
So what are
They
they
don't
doing?
really believe in that.
So what are they doing it for?
Exactly.
No, I'm
So,
asking. What are they doing it for? Really, what is...
I don't know why you're asking me that question.
No, but
I
why
work
would
with the
somebody-
ones. I work with the ones that are running up the stairs and doing that.
Okay, but let me just try to ask you to put yourself in that situation.
I don't want to.
No, but no, I hear you, but just to separate yourself from that just for a
No,
second.
we're
just
gonna
for
do
this.
that.
Just for this particular section of this podcast.
I wouldn't even know what they think.
Really?
Nah, I do, but I don't want to do it.
That's not. But you've said it already. They're lazy. They don't
They
want
are,
to do
so
the
why would
work.
I want to go think myself and speak about
No,
that?
but that's what I'm saying. No, because we can be an accurate example of what
You
should.
can't be
No.
an example to
No,
other
no,
people.
I
You
don't-
can
I don't-
inspire others.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant. I didn't mean example.
See, if we
Sorry,
want
that
to
was a
be-
bad word. No, it was. Because I know we can't. But we can inspire people by
Because I know
being
what
an
you
example.
want. You want to go and put a ripple effect. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to do it. Until
Why?
something moves you, because you have to be inspired.
But
And
that's-
people are
But
motivated
I feel
by
inspired
fear.
now. I feel
That's-
inspired right now in this moment
There we go.
to set a ripple in place, to do something. If you are in those situations, I'm in a situation right now where I'm looking at Vanda and saying to those people who are going to therapy, who aren't going to therapy, or are doing self-therapy, or trying to understand themselves, do the work as well.
Okay,
Do
but
something.
so, all right. So, yes, so I know what you want.
Right?
So instead of me putting myself in somebody else's shoes,
Yeah.
let me put myself in my own shoes.
Perfect.
That's the work
That's
I need to
a much
do.
better word.
Okay, so I'm going to put myself in my own shoes and I'm going to tell you what to do.
Oh. You need to tell you what to do.
All right, tell me what to do. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to ask myself, okay, who am I being today, okay, that is asking for Vanda to be in that space of alignment with herself? You know, because who I am as a mother, and who I am as a wife, and who I am as a friend, and who I am as a teacher, and who I am as a business owner, and who I am as a friend, and who I am as a sister and a daughter, okay, and then I have to separate myself. Who am I being that I can be more in tune to be happier for Vanda?
Edit.
Because I default to others being happy, and then I load it up for Vanda, right?
Mhm.
So that's a therapy session right there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Of course it does.
So, but we get motivated by fear. So let me put the fear in you. It's the age of Aquarius. And if you've got any cupboards or doormats or boxes or stuff there that's hogging your past fears and all of that, that stuff has to surface because it's got to be purified and cleansed for you to rise. Otherwise, you're going to stay in fear, man's made law.
Well, bang, finished.
Bang theory.
Yeah. Big Bang Theory, finished, done. And then lovely South African word, Klar.
Klar.
En kaput.
Ja,
Ons is nou klaar.
en ons is daar is die kak.
Oh, for those of you who don't know what that means, ladies and gentlemen, we will put a detailed description below. Thank you, Vanda.
Okay.
As always.
Sure.
As always. Wow. I need to lie down. I really do.